Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video, I will show you how to apply Gaussian blur to a live camera preview using CameraX in native Android application, as well as we will apply the Gaussian blur to the captured image as well. So yeah, let's get started. So first, as usual, I have created a native Android application. I am using XML layout, but if you want, you can use Jetpack Compose as well. Because the UI logic is very minimum. Mostly we will be writing the business logic, so it will be same irrespective of whether you use XML layout or Jetpack Compose. So once you have created an XML layout project, you will have to go to build.gradle.kts, and here you will have to add this few dependencies. So first one is this camera core, second one is camera 2, camera lifecycle, camera view, media 3 effect, as well as this media 3 effect. This is the Android media 3 effect, and this one is just the media 3 effect. Now I'm using version catalog, so all the versions have been written inside the libs.versions.toml file. So just come over here, and here you will have to add this camera core, camera 2, media 3 effect. Now at the time of me recording this video, this media 3 effect is in alpha, but hopefully by the time you watch it, it might become stable. So if there is a stable version available, it's highly recommended to use the stable version. Do not use the alpha version. And here we have another media 3 effect version, which is 1.6.1. Next you will have to add this particular line of code, camera 2, then the camera core, then camera view, then the camera life cycle as well, and then we have to add this media 3 effect, Android X media 3 effect, as well as this particular media 3 effect. Now once you add this, you will see a sync now button. So just to show it to you, don't do this, make sure you use 1.6.1. I just want to show you the sync now button. Here you have to click on the sync now, and it will download all the dependencies for you, like I have already downloaded it. Then you will have to go to manifest, android manifest.xml. first you will have to use this use feature, which is for camera. Then here we have the camera permission, and then we have the write external storage permission as well. So yeah, these are all the things which are required. Then go to activity underscore main, where we will define our layout. So first we are using this preview view. As you can see, it occupies the entire width and height. So this is the ID, width and height is 0, and we have constrained it to all sides of the screen. Then here we have one button. We have defined the width and height as wrap content. We have defined the ID as well, we have defined text as well, and we have constrained to the bottom of the screen. So yeah, that's it for the take photo button. One thing which I want to tell you is this Gaussian blur thing for live preview causes huge performance issues, at least on my Android device. I'm using a cheap Android device, but it could be like running absolutely fine on your Android device. Also, I think it's because of this media 3 effect is still in alpha. That's why I think there is some performance issues for Gaussian blur. But yeah, just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Then go to main activity. Now these are all the imports which you have to use. I'll simply scroll through this. Feel free to pause the video and just copy this imports. I have copied all these imports from the documentation itself, and some from Android Studio as well, so make sure you copy all these imports. Now here we are annotating this class with @unstable API. So why? I'll just comment this out. So if you see, we are getting this particular error for Gaussian blur. Now Gaussian blur comes from this particular media 3 effect version. It does not come from this alpha dependency. So even though media 3 effect is stable, this is one of the quirks of Android development, that even though this is stable, we sometimes need to add this unstable API annotation. Hopefully by the time you watch this video, this is removed, but at least now we have to add this @unstable API. Then here we have defined one variable called image capture. Then here we have an executor service. Here we have a viewfinder as well as one button. Then we have this class called register for activity result. Here we request multiple permissions. So first we assign the value as true, then we check if the permission is granted or not. If not, then we make it as false, and if it is false, then we display a toast message, and then we start our camera. Then inside on create, we just first find our viewfinder using find view by ID. Same we do it for the button as well. On click of the button, we just call this take photo method. If all permissions are granted, then we just call start camera, else we call this request permission. Then here we initialize our camera executor as well. Then we have defined a method called take photo. So we just check whether we have a proper image capture or not. If yes, then we just define a simple date format. Then we define a content values for to save the photo, right? So we have to define a display name, mime type, as well as the relative path if you are above Android P. Then we define this image capture dot output file options as well, passing in the content resolver as well as the external content URI. Then we just do image capture dot take picture, and here you will get two callbacks. In case of on error, I just log it to the console, and in case image is saved, we get the proper image, we get the saved URI of the image. So if you want to display it inside an image view, you can use this URI as well. Then we just do camera executor dot shutdown and display a toast message. If you still want to continuously capture images, you can just comment this line of code. Then we have the start camera. So first we define the aspect ratio, then we define a resolution selector, then we get hold of our camera provider future, we add a listener, then we define a camera provider. Then here we have this preview view dot builder, set the resolution selector as well. Then here we have this image capture dot builder, we set the resolution selector, we set the capture mode as well. Then here we have this camera selector dot default camera. Then here we use this use case group builder. Okay, then we add the preview as well as the image capture. Then we define this media 3 effect. So for preview, video capture as well as image capture, and this is the effect which we are defining. So for Gaussian blur, I have kept it as 20f, but if you are facing performance issue, you can lower down this value as well, 10f or 5f. Even for that, I have noticed that there is huge performance issue, at least on my Android device. But yeah, you can just play around with this value. Then we just use this use case group dot builder, add our media 3 effect. Then we unbind our provider. Then we bind to the lifecycle by passing the lifecycle camera selector as well as this use case group builder dot build. And here we have this method called request permission. We just do activity result launcher dot launch required permission. Here I have one method called on permissions granted, and if we have the required permissions, then we get it as true, otherwise we get it as, just to check whether we have all the permissions or not. On destroy, we just shut down our camera executor, and here we have defined a companion object where we pass the file format, and here we have this required permission of camera. And here if it is Android version is less than equal to P, then we ask for the right external storage permission as well. So yeah, that's it from the code side of things. Now let's see the output. Okay guys, so here is the output. Now the output for Gaussian blur is extremely laggy. I don't know whether it could be my Android device because I'm using a cheap Android device, but the output for Gaussian blur, what I have noticed is that is very laggy. Now some of you might be wondering that, okay, why don't we change this value? If you change this value, yeah, you can change it, but then you won't get that Gaussian blur effect. That's why I have kept it as 20.0f as well. Okay, now I can just use, I'll just give the camera permission. Again, I'm mirroring my device. Like I said, the output is very laggy. So as you can see, I'm not moving my device that much because again the output is very laggy, so you might not feel that the it is getting applied. Like even on my real device, it does take a bit of time to catch up, and I'm also mirroring my device using Wi-Fi. That takes even more time to catch up. So yeah, I'm just warning you guys, hopefully the performance for Gaussian blur, hopefully it increases in the future. So yeah, it is still catching up. I'm just moving my device a bit. Now I'll just capture a photo of this, whatever photo I get, just to prove it to you that a Gaussian blur has been applied. But yeah, use it with care. Hopefully I think given that we are still in the alpha version of this media 3 effect, that's why the performances might not be great for Gaussian blur, but hopefully it improves in the future. So I've already clicked on take photo, but yeah, it is still taking a bit of time to capture the photo. Let's just wait a second. Also, if you have any questions, do let me know in the comments. If you are using some high-end device like Pixel or maybe OnePlus, I don't think you will face this kind of performance issues. Mine is a quite cheap Android device, also it's quite old as well. That's why it is taking a bit of time. I don't know why it's taking so much time to take the photo as well. Just wait for. So okay, so it has finally taken one photo. Again, sorry, the performance is really bad. I don't know why. So I'll just go back to my files app just to show you the captured photo. Again, as you can see, it has brought down my entire device to a standstill. Okay, so finally, okay, I'm able to move it now freely. Okay, so if you see over here, this is the output which we have received. Again, the Gaussian blur is not that visible over here because we just took a picture of a table. But yeah, hopefully you got the point. This is how you can apply Gaussian blur. Again, it is very slow on my Android device, that's why the effect is not taking place, but you should try it with some high-end Android device and it should work for you. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.